In this time of the pandemic, where COVID-19 has crippled the world economies, where our government has ordered nationwide shutdown, where hospitals are overwhelmed.
Shortly after, the unthinkable happened.
I was literally stunned and frozen.
And their religious leaders are proven to be frauds. Where do you go to get all your questions answered and to hear what God has to say about this matter? You can only find the answers in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General YAHANNA. We give you scriptural breakdowns of world events and the up and coming world war. We will show you in the Bible where the children of Israel were the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today would suffer slavery in Jamaica, Caribbean, North, Central, and South America, and other parts of the world. We will show you in the Bible where God said He would send plagues upon the earth before He frees people from this captivity.
The World Health Organization has declared coronavirus a global pandemic.
We will give you the true teaching of the Bible, precept upon precept. To learn more, subscribe today and call the number in the description for I.S.U.P.K Jamaica. Shalom.
Shalom Israel, my name is Officer Kayadwan out of I.S.U.P.K Jamaica. I.S.U.P.K started 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. I.S.U.P.K is run by Commanding General YAHANNA, the one man with the rank and the authority to lead Israel at this time. I say Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai Brakatam to my brothers. Yahweh Shamar Alatan Ba'Hashem Yahushai to my sisters. All right, so you know what I mean? My name is Officer Kayadwan, just go on holding it down for my brother, Abadawan, you know what I mean, till him ready for come in, you know what I mean? So we have a touch upon the little, you know what I mean, controversy that has been on the media and social media about this Mocha Fest, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, so the people, them are cry double standard, and you can clearly see a double standard, you understand, where a huge event like this was allowed to, you know what I mean, to keep. Meanwhile, they are shutting down and arresting the poor. You understand? For the same thing. You understand? All right. We don't condone the keeping of any kind of event at this moment. You know what I mean? In this virus crisis right now. You understand? It doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? But you can clearly see the double standard. You understand? And then they are pretending as if that they didn't know that this event was occurring. You know what I mean? So we're going to play, you know what I mean, a TVJ report on the matter. And then we are going to some scriptures and, you know what I mean, to show you that, you know what I mean, how you deal with a plague, you know what I mean, is also in the Bible. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, the protocols that they put out about the coronavirus, you know what I mean, they learned it from the Bible. You know what I mean? Quarantining and the mask and them thing there, like my brother Abadawan brought out in previous class. You understand? Is from the Bible. You understand? Yeah, man. So I'm going to play this tape, you know what I mean? And then we're going to discuss, we're going to break down the tape. You understand?
Tourism. Donovan White was a guest on Beyond the Headlines with Dion Jackson Miller this evening. Dashan Hendricks reports.
It mirrors the Dream Weekend, a series usually held yearly during the Emancipendence period in Negril, Westmoreland, except due to the coronavirus. All local entertainment events have been banned since last year, March, in a bid to curb the spread of COVID-19. Not here, however, where hundreds of foreigners partied the day and night away. Based on how it was advertised, it would appear that the event, Mocha Fest, had the backing of the Jamaica Tourist Board, the JTB logo on flyers, and the event was advertised on its website. Director of Tourism Donovan White was challenged on the issue.
The event is an event that has happened in Jamaica before. Early in the game, we made it very clear to all of the usual events that we support or endorse in the destination that we would not be doing live events this year because of the protocols and what they expect to happen when executing events. And so there should be no misunderstanding about our position with this event. The last time we sponsored Mocha Fest was in 2019, and the event was cancelled in 2020. And as far as we're concerned, the event was not even taking place this year.
It is why,
you know what I mean, which that could never be the case, because if you are on a government website, right, how can you not be aware of what is, you know what I mean, being advertised on the government website? You see, a website is something, you know, that somebody have to man the website, to update the website, you know what I mean, things that are old have to get taken down off of the website. Somebody have to be in the back end of the website, you know what I mean, servicing the website. You understand? So are you telling me that you don't have somebody who governs the website? And are you also telling me that you don't own a website, you don't look at the website to see what is on the website? You understand? That's just, you know what I mean? That can't be the fact, you understand? But let me continue playing the tape.
Why he says that the JTB was startled when videos of a Mocha Fest event were circulating on social media late Thursday. Mr. White insists that the organizers of the event did not seek sponsorship. Neither was there any dialogue about staging the mega event, even though it was widely advertised starting early this month. He then gave this explanation about why it was being advertised on the Visit Jamaica website.
The calendar of events typically remain the same each year, except we may add or subtract one or two events depending on whether or not they're happening or whether or not they're delivering value. Right? So
when you typically subtract events on the basis of whether or not they're giving value. So why wasn't Mocha Fest taken down? All right. The thing about it, you know, you see, the thing about it is this. Because, you know what I mean, it is the rich, you know what I mean, that is keeping this event. That is the reason why, you know what I mean, this event was allowed to continue and to keep. But, you see, if it was the poor, all these coronavirus, you know what I mean, restrictions would still be in play. You know what I mean? They would have clamped down hard. Them that come down with a iron fist on the poor. You understand? So, what we are saying here, you know what I mean, is that the same rule that apply to the poor must be applied to the rich. You understand? But the Bible tell you that they don't like the poor. They despise the poor. And we're going to jump to a scripture right now, which is James chapter 2, verse 6. Right? So this is how they have always treated the poor. You understand? Not to say that any gathering should be, you know what I mean, kept at this moment. But you can clearly see a double standard where when it comes to them making some big money, you know what I mean, this is allowed because the event was being kept several days prior to when the videos leak. You understand? So they knew about this. I tell me say sound string up and all them thing, their music play loud and commotion with patrons and them thing. They tell me say nobody knew that this was happening. Come on, man, that's a lie. You understand? So we are at James, the book of James, chapter 2, verse 6. And it says, but ye have despised the poor. Do not rich men oppress you and draw you before the judgment seat? So they have despised the poor. You understand? And as soon as they can, you know what I mean, they drag you, you know what I mean, in front of the judgment seat. Meaning them throwing up in a jeep, you know what I mean, carrying it to the station and licking with charges. Meanwhile, nobody is held accountable for Mocha Fest. You understand? Mocha Fest was allowed to be kept. You know what I mean? And nobody paid the penalty. As a matter of fact, these leaders basically putting our lives at risk, putting the poor life at risk by keeping big events. You know what I mean? We also saw that in the election. You know what I mean? When they were putting in COVID guidelines, you know what I mean? They were very strict. You know what I mean? Very, very strict, putting police checkpoint everywhere, curfew. If you get caught breaching curfew, you know what I mean? You were arrested. You know what I mean? But when it come to them keeping the election, everybody was allowed to go about gathering in groups, and you know what I mean? And that also led to the further spreading of the coronavirus in that time. You know what I mean? But who was held accountable for that? It's always the poor that is blamed. You know what I mean? Whenever it come to, you know what I mean, things like this. You see me? It's always the poor that they put the blame on, because what? The scripture says. Let me read again. But ye have despised the poor. Do not rich men oppress you? Our politicians, these rich men, they have oppressed us. You know what I mean? Continuing. And draw you before judgment seats. How many of our local, you know what I mean, event planners have been dragged before the courts? You know what I mean? Because of these same events. Not saying that events should be kept, because that is very unwise right now to keep any kind of event in these climates. You know what I mean? In this coronavirus climate. But how many of the local, you know what I mean, event planners were dragged before judgment seat, before the courts, you know what I mean, because of the same breach, you know what I mean? But yet still Mocha Fest was allowed to continue. You see me? All right, so we're going to go down into this video, right? We're not going to stay too long on the video, but we're going to go down to the end of the video to show you that these politicians, you know what I mean, they are very slick, and they are but nothing but, you know what I mean, sellouts and, you know what I mean, wars. They are not, they are leaders of the people, you know, but they are not, they don't care about the people. You know what I mean? This big thing they coming out and saying that them never know about it is a lie. I'm going to prove it. All right, so this is Edmund Bartlett. Zin, hear what he has to say.
I'm instructing that all activities which is being undertaken by Mocha Fest be done exclusively in the protocols established, failing which the security forces are well aware of.
All right, so that don't sound like a condemnation to me. That sound like make sure so we not keep the protocol. You understand? That sound like them know say Mocha Fest was, you know what I mean, supposed to keep. But now that it come out that COVID protocols were breached, now he must say continue, but continue within the guidelines. That's what he's saying. You understand? So when they come out and say them never know, say boy this did for go on, them know. The Jamaica Tourist Board website is a government website. How can you be running a government website and don't know, say, yo, this is being advertised on the website? You know what I mean? These leaders are not for us, you know. You understand? When it comes to them benefiting, they are willing to put our lives at risk. You know what I mean? They don't love the poor. You know what I mean? They despise the poor like the scripture says. You understand? But we here in the ISUPK and the commanding general, YAHANNA, which are the real government, are the real leaders for blacks and Hispanics. We love the poor. We care about the poor safety. You understand? All right. Let me just jump to Leviticus, right? I'm going to go into Slovakia. We're going to the book of Leviticus. See? I'm going to show you that these protocols concerning COVID that they come up with are in the Bible. You understand? And the Bible tell you what is the best way to treat plagues whenever we have plagues among us. See? The Bible is the source of how you deal with plagues. You understand? So we are at Leviticus, the book of Leviticus 13, and we're going to start at 1. And it says, and the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying, verse 2, when a man shall have in his skin of his flesh arising a scab or a bright spot, and it be in the skin of his flesh, like the plague of leprosy, So if the Most High is saying unto Moses, if you see like a man is have some symptoms of leprosy, then continuing, then he shall then he shall be brought unto Aaron the priest, or unto one of his sons, the priest, right? He should be brought unto the priest. See? So the priest would be like the doctor, you understand, that would diagnose whether or not this man have leprosy. Continuing. Verse 3, and the priest shall look on the plague in the skin of the flesh, and when the ear in the plague is turned white, and the plague inside be deeper than the skin of his flesh, it is a plague of leprosy. So if the priest analyze him and see where the plague is deeper than the flesh and the skin turn white, then it is the plague of leprosy. You understand? So here I go tell you now what is the protocol concerning when you find out that somebody has leprosy. Continuing. Then, and the priest shall look on him and pronounce him unclean. So the priest will pronounce that he has leprosy and he is unclean. Continuing, verse 4. If the bright spot be white in the skin of the flesh, and in the sight be not deeper than the skin, and the ear thereof be not turned white, then the priest shall shut up him that has the plague 7 days. So this is where quarantine come from. Like my brother Abda one brought out before. You see, quarantine comes from the Bible. Whenever somebody is suspected to have leprosy, the Bible, the Most High recommend that this person be set or be put to himself or quarantine, locked away for 7 days. You understand? So the Bible tell you how to deal with leprosy, but what is our politician, what is our leaders doing? How soon did they open up the border and let in foreigners, you know what I mean, to come inoculate up Jamaica? How soon did they do that? You understand? And this is a ply because what you know, Jamaica is known for tourists, we call it not remittances, but Jamaica survive off a tourist visitation. See? So my assumption, which you know what I mean, anybody we know the corrupt nature of these politicians know that this assumption is right. What they're trying to do is to promote this event and use it as advertisement to foreigners that Jamaica is still open for business. You know what I mean? So that foreign revenue can still come into the island because Jamaica is dependent on foreign money. You know what I mean? But what they are not telling you is that that's what they're doing. You understand? So now that the cat come out of the bag, they are pretending as if they didn't know. You see it? And they are coming out, speaking out against it as if they didn't know. Meanwhile, if you keep any gathering in your community or anywhere, in your poor community, you're arrested. You understand? And again, I'm not saying that anybody should keep any dance or function in the garrison, in the ghetto, anywhere, because as the scripture tell you, now is the time for everybody to not, you know what I mean, come together in such manner, because when you suspect that disease is among you, people have to be quarantined so that the disease can die out and go away, you see? But you can clearly see the double standards. We see the videos where them threw up man in a wall, you know what I mean, all the patrons throw up in a jeep and everybody get brought to the station and everybody get charged. You know what I mean? Yet still yacht parties are allowed to keep. You understand? Where politicians, children attend and all they get is a slap on the wrist. You understand? All they get is a warning. But when it comes to the poor, you understand? People are arrested and charged. You get me? All right, so I'm going to read one more scripture and then I'm going to let my brother Abadawan come in and, you know what I mean, commence the class. So I'm going to jump to Zephaniah 2:1. To show you that these politicians, you know what I mean, they are not really for the people, you know what I mean, the descendants of the slaves here in Jamaica, you see? They are only thinking about their revenue, you understand? The money that they can make, you understand? Which we don't benefit from, you understand? We don't benefit from the money that they make through foreign investment, you see? You understand? This is Zephaniah 2:1, Salakia. And when it comes to them making money, they are willing to put the poor life at risk because this is putting our lives at risk. You understand? If the case was that only poor people could catch the coronavirus, you know what I mean? Gathering wouldn't be a problem. But because them can catch it too, you know what I mean? Them make sure say, yo, we are under strict rules here. You know what I mean? In the garrison, in the ghetto. You understand? But when for them rich friend come and keep big parties and big, you know what I mean, weak, you know what I mean, weak events, you understand? They get a slap on the wrist. So look here. All right, this is Zephaniah 2:1, and it says, gather yourself together, ye Slakia. Gather yourself together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired. All right, so who is the nation not desired? We are the nation not desired. You understand? Nobody no desire we. As soon as we breach the protocols, we get arrested. You understand? As soon as, you know what I mean, we break curfew, we get arrested. Police patrol our community to make sure, you know what I mean, that we don't breach the protocols, to catch criminals, to catch, you know what I mean, us breaking the law. You understand? But when them patrol the rich communities, is for their protection. You know what I mean? We are the nation not desired. Majority of us are poor. You understand? And our politicians are not our leaders. You know what I mean? They belong to the oppressor. The system belongs to the oppressor. You know what I mean? And the only time they you know what I mean, they remember us is when they can make money off of us. You understand? Yeah, man. So we are the nation not desired. And what does the Bible say we have to do? We have to come together. You know what I mean? We have to take our minds out of this system, you know what I mean, that has oppressed us, that has enslaved us, and come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. You understand? We have to start, keep back the Most High laws. You understand? And He will take us out of this captivity. You see me? Gather yourself together, it says, O nation not desired. You know what I mean? And with that, I turn the class over to priest and officer Abadawan. Is for their protection. You know what I mean?
Shalom.
Shalom, sir.
Yeah. Yabashim Yahushai Barakatam to the brothers, Yashamar Islet and Basham Yahushai to the sisters. Hey, what you're talking about there, what happened in Jamaica recently, you know?
Go on, sir.
It's a violation on laws and on so many fronts.
Go on.
Even our biblical laws, it violates. But leading up to that, you know, you remember how they were clamping down on local parties?
Gun, yeah, man.
You have people, you even see one where them run left with food.
God.
When police come, they run left the food, run left the sound, run left everything. And then shortly after that, we have the big Mocha Fest. But
God.
I was watching a video where I don't know if it was someone from, I think it was someone from the government. But someone was commenting that locals were not allowed to go to the party.
Gone.
So therefore, it doesn't mean that it doesn't matter if the party keep, because locals can't go to say if they have virus, it not go it not go spread to the locals.
Okay, gone.
But that is crap, because this one law that governs the law governs the land.
Gone.
All right. You see, all the laws that govern Jamaica, you have the written laws, and then every country have what they call political borders, meaning it
Okay.
it have land borders that show you how far your political power stretch. Now these people came within our political borders, so the law of the land should have applied.
Gone.
Now, what they seem to forget that even down to the poor is educating themselves now. So they want to do these things, especially the man who is the minister of tourism.
Gone.
Him seem to take things that we still people the country still is in a backward stage where you can't come up and tell people anything.
Gone.
Yeah, you can't tell people anything, and then listen now. But they are going to remember. And a time is going to come where what they should remember, you don't have enough police in the force to police everywhere in the island at the same time.
That's right. Gone.
And these little things are going to cause the people to get rebellious. One of the worst things you can do to a Jamaican is to make him feel inferior.
Gone.
And this that they have done has caused persons even within the government to feel inferior, because you carrying some people. Basically, I tell you, say them people are more important than we,
Gone.
right? These people have more money than you. You are nothing. The laws go on suspension for these people. I mean, there is so many things that, but if they were following the Bible, which obviously they are not, then they would have known to do better.
Gone.
All right, look, go to Judges, sorry, Leviticus 19 and 15.
Got another one. Gone, sir. Got another one. Gone. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 15. He shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. Thou shalt not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty. But in righteousness shalt thou judge thy neighbor.
All right. So this is talking about judgment where you go before the judge. So the judge right now is the parliament and the minister. This case, this fest was they have the laws. They are enforcing the laws locally,
God.
and rather than you know, could we go to America while they have certain laws and do otherwise?
La.
Could our government or a group of our people go and do otherwise?
La, sir.
Because America have more sense than that.
God.
They know their political borders and they enforce their laws within their political borders.
God.
Our government take with idiot.
God.
The laws must be enforced within the political borders. And the political borders of Jamaica goes, I think, 7 miles offshore, right around the island, right? Approximately 7 miles offshore. So if they want to keep something out in the seas. They have to go probably about 8-9 miles from Jamaica, and you're going to keep it on the seas. And then you're out of our political border, so we cannot enforce our laws on you. But they came on land. And while they are on land, they are within the political border, and our laws should have stand.
That's right.
And because they fear to do that, they have shown what the scripture say. They have shown what? They have shown
righteousness.
They have shown honor to the mighty.
God.
Right. They have shown honor to the mighty. Right. So you know what? Is the poor always make trouble in Jamaica? You know, that is what they must remember. You know.
God.
Because most of the rich in Jamaica agrees with this first, you know. Because then look and say, but after, right? Then we don't can say the people them who keep them partying not necessarily are mixed with everybody else too.
God.
Because everybody knows the party people most time sleep till when or when. Right?
Conscious.
And then they go out and mix, yes. But you can't say they don't have the virus or the virus not there and they're not going to spread. Oh, you know the virus don't spread in that area. Oh, you know that locals were not there. Of course, locals were there.
God.
That's how the video get to leak.
That's right.
Locals have to be in there for it to keep here, you know. So because locals are there, it can spread within the populace.
That's right, sir. God.
Right? But it's about money. And you can't get so desperate for money that you break the law.
God.
And if the government is going to do it, then why they are going to have to ease up the poor when they break the law to make money?
God.
Because it's one and the same.
God.
The poor, especially in these times, the poor man finds him off a boy, I'm going to go juggle to robot taxi, right? Now to go maybe then go sell 2 illegal cigarettes, right? Maybe then go juggle some weed, right? You never know. This is the quick money they are looking at so that they can put food on the table, right?
Conscious.
But what these are against the law. So in the same way that our government is going to look at the Mocha face and say that locals were not allowed to go. In other words, because locals were not allowed to go, it's okay to break the law. Because we need some money. The country needs some money.
God.
Well, guess what? The poor man needs some money.
God.
Right? We don't want to see the poor going around and killing people, you know, becoming hitmen and things like that.
God.
But some things when we see them are all the old man when them I tell about quote your car and then go in an engine and take off the lead off a battery. I don't know what the case, but it seems as if there's suspect that he was running robot taxi.
Okay.
So you're going to do all that to your grandfather because him running robot, not to make himself rich, but so that he can feed himself. It's them same police who do it, you know, it's them grandfather that, you know. Right? And what I mean by that is same bloodline, same blood people, that man is within their grandfather's age. And this is how they treat them. And no police went to stop Mocha Fest.
You understand? Gone, sir.
Right?
Gone.
None. And most of them parties that they having out on the beach, bringing in the tourists and partying. So you already promote Jamaica as a party place. Tourists can come party, but it's a party place, but the locals can't party.
Gone. Double standard. Slack, yeah.
So what? The tourists are immune from COVID. They can catch COVID just the same.
Gone.
Right? In the same way that we can catch COVID, they can catch it.
That's right, sir.
One law for the rich, one law for the poor.
That's
and
right.
this is what has been plaguing our people. This is why, and for that reason, you see when the move that Muta make, it is such a stupid move. I know for that reason, we want to challenge Muta to a national debate. The Israelite School of Universal Practical
That's right.
Knowledge, Jamaica, is putting out a challenge, national challenge, to Muta Baruka on what he said about the irrelevance of the Bible for today.
That's
We're going
right.
national with it, right? Winner takes all,
That's
right?
right.
But there are many things. You know, I have a feeling Muta was grown in the Christian church.
He can't, sir. He was in the Catholic Church.
All right. So from the age that he lived, he realized that something was not right, you know.
God.
But he was not. He got the Romans interpretation of the Bible.
God.
That interpretation which was used to enslave us. But he was not re-educated as to the true interpretations of the Bible.
That's right.
Right? So Muta Baruka should have found himself in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge from the time of 1969. I think he was around then, right?
God.
Or even in the 80s, or even in the 90s.
God.
He should have found him, for him leave the church. He should have found himself in the truth. But now he has proven himself to be an old wineskin. And as Christ said, you can't pour new wine in old wineskin.
That's right.
Muta has presented himself as, well, you put it as goated still, but he has presented himself as someone who the same Bible says, you know, trying to lead the people astray.
That's right.
And it has never been the poor people who do it, you know. Always the more, we're not gonna say him rich, right? But him not feel to find him food tomorrow.
God.
Right? Maybe 1 year from now, today, him say 1 year from now, I don't know I'm gonna eat. But tomorrow and the day after, him not feel to find him food. Meaning that him have some him can take care of himself, right?
God.
And this is what has always led Israelites astray. Those who are able to take care of themselves and find themselves financially capable has always tried to come up with things to lead the rest. And it's always the poor get led astray.
God.
Always the poor get led astray. And then who get the beaten? Who find themselves in the ghetto? Sorry, the poor.
That's right, sir.
Right? So we're challenging Muta to a national debate on that, which him said the Bible is irrelevant for today.
God.
We can't follow a 4,000-year-old book. We can't just base the syncretism in bringing in, you know.
That's right. Can't.
Syncretism, man. But time will tell what I'm up to, you know. What am I do? Try to reform Rastafarians?
It seemed like it, sir.
Time soon tell what he's up to, man. Anyway, this is how our people always, conspiracy always running in Israel, you know. What he's doing now, you know, is conspiring. This is the beginning of a conspiracy for him to bring in other teachings within his already defunct organization, the Rastafarian.
That's right.
And maybe that is why he realized that the Rastas, they say all the houses are Rasta collapse, you know. So they are now searching for new knowledge. Just like what Khazaria did, just like what Muhammad, who came up with Islam, did. After them don't study our history
and come over it. But what he should have done is study the Bible some more. And then he would have realized that the best thing to do is share Rastafarianism and come into the truth, rather than to try to find knowledge. You're searching the world now for knowledge and bring you into Rastafarianism. And in doing so, you are encouraging people to put away, you are encouraging blacks, Hispanics, and Natives Americans who are the true Israelites of the Bible. We in Jamaica, the Israelite, the Benjamite, you are encouraging us now to what? Put aside our history, our record. God's Bible is our record of us being on earth here. From when we became a nation until what is happening now. The Bible is our record. So because he doesn't understand, say, you know, we can put it aside and bring in another thing. It's an old book that you want to bring in some knowledge, which is older. So when one person we know is that the Bible, and I've heard some Rasta say that some of the things in the Bible came from Egypt, the teachings of Egypt. None of the teachings came from Egypt.
That's right.
Right? The teachings from the time of Moses, the Most High, the record is there. The Most High sent his angel to teach Moses. There might be some coincidence because Noah had the same laws.
That's right.
And Noah's son Ham, Shem, Japheth were taught the laws. And the one that the Egyptians came from, who is Ham, they are the laws. So it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be it shouldn't be a fright that you see some of the knowledge from the Bible in Egypt. They had the laws coming down. It's just that what wasn't there was the punishment.
That's right.
Right? What the curses, that wasn't there. So if they break the law, there was, you know, they never have no punishment to follow them for generation and generation. Like we have. What came onto it, the curses, and that is what is beating our ass up until today. And beating his ass too.
That's right, sir.
Because we can find two shilling him believe, say, it's the curses why I'm doing that. So he's not exempted. Amuta will challenging you, sir. We'll find a way to make sure that you're here. We're putting out the challenge to you, man. We're going on a national debate with you.
That's right.
Bring in some of the brothers from abroad. Whichever way, we can make you come up against the Most High laws like that.
That's right, sir.
Yeah, and we're not try something. We'll try something. If the Most High shut it down, it's so. But there was another man in the Bible who conspired and paid the price just the same. This man in Judges that was called Abimelech. We're going to look at his conspiracy. Judges 9:1.
Another one, Another one, This is the book of Judges, chapter 9 and verse 1. And Abimelech, the son of Jerubbaal, went to Shechem and to his mother's brethren, and communed with them and with all the families of the house of his mother's father, saying, verse 2, speak, I pray you, in the ears of all the men of Shechem, whether is better for you either that all the sons of Jerubbaal, which are 70 persons, reign over you, or that one reign over you. Remember also that I am your bone and your flesh.
All right, so this man now named Abimelech, son of Jerubbaal, went and conspired with his mother's brothers, right? Conspired with the family of his mother's father. Now, it doesn't say, but it seems as if this is why you don't have intermarriage. Because it seems as if there was some intermarriage here. Because his father's people was the Israelites.
God.
But according to the story now, the mother's people was one who he went to side with to fight against his Israelite brothers.
Okay.
All right. 9 verse 3.
Another one, cancer. Verse 3. And his mother's brethren spake of him in the ears of all the men of Shechem all these words, and their hearts inclined to follow Abimelech, for they said, he is our brother.
All right. So the mother side of people now take him as our brother, this,
God.
Right? Now, obviously, they weren't saying that the father side of them Israelite brother too.
Okay, God, yeah.
But continue.
Another one, cancer. Verse 4. And they gave him 70 pieces of silver out of the house of Baal Berith.
All right, so you see, they were in idolatry.
That's right, God.
And they were Baal worshippers. His mother's people, Baal worshippers. So they take money, 10 pieces out of 70 pieces of silver, and gave to him.
God.
I put my money in this time still. Yeah, continue.
Another one, cancer. And they gave him 70 pieces of silver out of the house of Baal Berith, wherewith Abimelech hired vain and light persons which followed him.
Right, continue.
Another one, verse 5. And he went unto his father's house at Ophrah, and slew his brethren, the sons of Jerubbaal, being 70 persons upon one stone. Notwithstanding yet, Jotham, the youngest son of Jerubbaal, was left, for he hid himself.
All right. So he went now and hired some knuckleheads, vain and light person.
God.
So they would call them some knucklehead or some waste man.
God.
He went unto them, right? So them waste man, they make themselves into hitmen.
God.
Because what they're going to do now, they're going to commit murder for money.
That's right.
And that is one rule again in Israel that you shouldn't do.
That's right. God.
Right. You don't murder. That's murder. Whether you do it for free or you do it for money, you shall not murder.
That's right.
Continue. The youngest son of Jerubbaal hid himself.
God.
Run and go hide. Continue.
Another one, cancer. Verse 6. And all the men of Shechem gathered together, and all the house of Milo, and went and made Abimelech king by the plain of the pillar that was in Shechem.
What verse that?
That's verse 6, sir.
Right. All the men of Shechem gathered themselves.
God.
All the house of Milo, or Milo, and went, made Abimelech king.
God.
By the plain of the pillar That was in Shechem. So he went and made him and the conspiracy work. Killed off him on them, and he was made king.
God.
All right, continue.
Another one, cancer. Verse 7. And when they told it to Jotham, he went and stood in the top of Mount Gerizim, and lifted up his voice and cried and said unto them, Hearken unto me, ye son of Shechem, that God may hearken unto you. Verse 8. The trees went forth and a time to anoint a king over them. And they said unto the olive tree, Reign thou over us. Verse 9. But the olive tree said unto them, Should I leave my fatness wherewith by me that they honored God and man, and go to be promoted over the trees?
10.
Verse 10. And the tree said to the fig tree, Come thou and reign over us. Verse 11. But the fig tree said unto them, Should I forsake my sweetness and my good fruit, and go to be promoted over the trees? Verse 12. Then said the trees unto the vine, Come thou and reign over us. Verse 13. And the vine said unto them, Should I leave my wine, which cheereth God and man, and go to be promoted over the trees? Verse 14. Then said all the trees unto the bramble, Come thou and reign over us. Verse 15. And the bramble said unto the trees, If in truth ye anoint me king over you, then come and put your trust in my shadow. And if not, let fire come out of the bramble and devour the cedar of Lebanon.
All right, so I'm at the bramble, you know, I'm being like at the bramble.
Yeah.
Continue.
Another one, verse 16. Now therefore, if ye have done truly and sincerely, in that ye have made Abimelech king, and if ye have dealt well with Jerubbaal and his house, and have done unto him according to the deserving of his hands. Verse 17. For my father fought for you, and adventured his life far, and delivered you out of the hand of Midian, Slakia. Verse 18. And ye are risen up against my father's house, and have slain his sons, 70 persons upon one stone, and have made Abimelech, the son of his maidservant, king over the men of Shechem, because he is your brother.
If he
Another one can. Slakia, verse 19. If he then have dealt truly and sincerely with Jerubbaal and with his house this day, then rejoice ye in Abimelech, and let him also rejoice in you.
All right. So I say, well, you know, you made me king over you. If you're really sincere about making me king over you, as if he wasn't the one who went come up with the conspiracy. Okay, you made me king over you. So if you're sincere about this thing, then come under my shadow, that I may protect you.
God.
And he was the one who come up with it. Let him also rejoice in you, as if he wasn't the one who come up with a conspiracy. 20.
Another one can. Verse 20. But if not, let fire come out from Abimelech and devour the men of Shechem and the house of Millo, and let fire come out from the men of Shechem and from the house of Millo, and devour Abimelech. Verse 21. And Jotham ran away and fled and went to Beer, and dwelt there for fear of Abimelech his brother.
All right. So Abimelech would have been Jotham's brother by bloodline, father line, eh?
God.
But he went to his mother's people to conspire to kill Jotham's brothers, who would have been the judge over these 70 men, so powerful would have been the judge over Israel.
God.
But this is all this is money and greed.
God.
Right? Just like what our government did now, money and greed.
God.
You went and conspire with these people who are not, obviously, as white people, right? And what you do? You brush aside us, your brother. Them not important, man. You say if I ain't liking at them time, they will have kill a couple people
God.
to get that mocha fest on the way.
You understand? God.
Right?
God.
And it's the things that have happened in the past, maybe why persons within the government who could have stopped it did not stop it. Kawa. No, nobody can kill me. I understand.
God.
Yeah, man, them know say they will do them things, man. This is how serious this money making thing has become. All right. So much so that people will willing to take life over a few pennies.
God.
Just a few pennies, because how long those money going to keep you? All right. Now Abimelech come up with the conspiracy. They made him ruler over Shechem. But let's see what is going to happen to him. All right, 22.
Another one, verse 22. When Abimelech had reigned 3 years over Israel. Verse 23. Then God sent an evil spirit between Abimelech and the men of Shechem. And the men of Shechem dealt treacherously with Abimelech.
All right. So you see how the Most High work.
God.
This is how the Most High send judgment on you, What him do? He just send an evil spirit.
God.
Just like the blasted evil spirit we have keep down poor people in Jamaica.
God.
Because, probably if Mocha Fest was open up, you would have people who can go in there, do some little juggling, make some money.
You see it?
But the most I send the evil spirit, man, and say, you know what? It's necessary to do these things because what? Him want to judge. He want to bring judgment on those people.
God.
Right? So you see when them things happen, you just listen closely. Couple years down the line, you're going to hear of something happen that, if you can fit the puzzle, come from what they did with Mocha Fest.
God.
Verse what now?
We're at verse 24.
All right, 24.
Verse 24. That the cruelty done in the 70 sons of Jerubbaal might come, and their blood be laid upon Abimelech, their brother, which slew them, and upon the men of Shechem, which aid him in the killing of his brethren.
All right. All right. So also what could have happened is that the mother was of a different tribe from which Abimelech was.
God.
Abimelech's father was of the same tribe as Jerubaal's sons.
God.
But his mother probably was of another tribe. So this is something that has always happened in Israel as well, civil war.
God.
That could have been that was probably a civil war right there. Well, you wouldn't call that a civil war. Tribal war.
God.
We fought many tribal wars in Israel. And we have also had civil wars. Many wars fight amongst ourselves in the same way that we had. As a matter of fact, talking that, you're following what is happening in New York since Corona, the amount of shooting within black communities and among our people.
La, sir, you know, say, I don't really know what go on.
Man, it's alarming, man.
Yeah.
Can't believe there was one. There's one report about yesterday or the day before yesterday. New York have 5 boroughs, and they were shooting within all the 5 boroughs in one day. Killing too.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. We're going on. And this is now is going to cause the police now to come back out.
God.
And start murdering black people.
God. I use this as
this American style of killing. You're out partying or you're out in a group and then some group of men just come up on you.
And just shoot up everybody.
Yeah, man, a portion of that going. Yeah. That's tribal war, man.
God.
Yeah, because it could be the blood and the Crips, you know. If it is blood and the Crips, then you know that's tribal. You're from the tribe of the blood, you're from the tribe of the Crips. We can't agree. But you know that the two parties them the supported by the two gangs they are supported by the two parties in America.
Republican and Democrat.
Yeah, man. One of them aligned to Republican and the other one aligned to Democrat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luck, yeah.
They even carry the colors, the blue and the red.
Oh, yeah, me know the colors, but me I say I never know say it aligned to each party.
All right. Why you think America dig out terrorists in other countries, investigation and then get them out? And blood and the Crips in America for how many years, and then they never really get to the root of the blood and the Crips.
Okay.
It's just like out here, you have who for the PNP?
Show a posse or
no man, PNP, the one of Spanish Town.
Slovakia, not yeah, one other. Which one? I don't know. Slovakia. Which one of them? Our clans.
I don't want the name again. You have the show for the JLP. And the one I have the one that Spanish Town.
One other, I know one other.
No man, one other JLP. Well, one other isn't that PNP, that JLP though.
Okay. Slovakia.
One other is a passive farm to, or he was trying to end the tribal politics. But in doing that, him farm a different kind of gang.
God. Okay.
You know? We had a gang, them and them run Spanish Town region, them man.
Yeah, sir.
So remember them name, man. You have Stone Crusher. Stone Crusher came about in Montego Bay from Stone Crusher, which one?
Bay.
Yeah, but which they were aligned to one of the parties too.
Okay.
I don't remember which one of the party. But anyways, you have one in Spanish Town, one in Tivoli, aligned to the two parties. It's just like the Blood and the Crips. I mean, this is how they promote blacks. This is how they see us. I can't tell how them see, the things that they allow to flourish. Why they never allow Black Wall Street to flourish?
Because that would be beneficial for we.
Right. So they allow the blood and the Crips to flourish. And then they replicate that in Jamaica now with the two parties having gangs. Right? Mind, gangs can be used for positive things, right? Because when blacks first start migrating to America and they realize the police violence, they form themselves into gangs, not necessarily gangs to fight the police, but gangs or group for the betterment of themselves. As soon as if one of we in the group get arrested by cops or whatever, we can call another members of the group. We pass information on to other members of the group. Don't go in that direction. They don't do this, don't do that. If we see things that we can make money off of, we share it within the group. Understand?
Gotcha.
So gangs can be used for a positive gain, but amongst our people, that's not what's been taught. What they push amongst our people is to use gangs for the downfall of our people. And this story with Abimelech is the same thing, it's a gang, Yeah, gang violence. Abimelech farm himself with his mother's people. Farm them gang up. If Jerubal sons, although they were 70, they didn't even see what was coming. Right? So this is one thing, and this was another thing to do, what gang protect each other. Right? Well, the more we talk, the more take time I see the UPK. Well, at least we are a righteous gang, eh? You're righteous in what we are doing.
That's right.
All right, what verse we are at now?
We're at verse 25.
25. All right, go on. Let's see how this kind of gang violence going to come out.
Okay. Verse 25. And men of Shechem set liars in wait for him in the top of the mountain, and they robbed all that came along that way by them, and it was told Abimelech.
All right, you see where the gang start now. Turn to crime.
Gone.
Rob everything. Gang violence, man.
Gone.
Right, continue.
Another one, cancer, verse 26. And Gaal, the son of Ebed, came with his brethren and went over to Shechem, and the men of Shechem put their confidence in him.
26, right? And the men of Shechem put their confidence in Gaal, son of Ebed. All right, continue.
Another one, verse 27. And they went out into the fields and gathered their vineyard and trod the grapes and made merry and went into the house of their God and did eat and drink and curse Abimelech.
Idolatry, eh?
God.
Idolatry.
Yeah.
They went to the house of, well, they got there, I think that was Baal. Or another name. I think that's the name further. Continue.
Another one, cancer. Verse 28. And Gaal, the son of Ebed, said, who is Abimelech and who is Shechem, that we should serve him? Is not he the son of Jerubbaal, and Zebul is officer? Serve the men of Amor the father of Shechem, for they should for why should we serve him? Another one gone. Verse 29. And would to God these people were under his hand, then would I remove Abimelech. And he said to Abimelech, increase thine army and come out. Verse 30. And when Zebul, the ruler of the city, heard the word of Gaal, the son of Ebed, his anger was kindled. Verse 30.
Zebul was one of Abimelech's officer.
God.
And he was the ruler of the city. I think it was Shechem.
Another one can.
Oh, stick up. You see that these men were no poor men. You see them going to them field and gather grapes.
Gone.
From the vineyard. So much so that they could juice the grapes. Make grape juice and drink and be merry.
Gone.
Right? Before their idols.
Gone.
There were no poor men. No poor man had no vineyard nowhere.
That's right.
They might have one grapevine which not juice that to make no juice. If you look at grapes and get from that, I eat that.
God.
I even gonna sell it.
God.
It's not juice that himself and his friends. They ain't doing that. Continue.
Another one cancer, verse 31. And he sent messengers unto Abimelech privily, saying, behold, Gaal the son of Ebed and his brethren be come to Shechem, and behold, they fortify the city against thee. Verse 30. Now therefore, up by night, thou and the people that is with thee, and lie in wait in the field.
Right, so he sent messengers unto Abimelech. That would have been Zebul.
Okay.
When Zebul, the ruler of the city, heard the words of Gaal, son of Ebed, his anger was kindled. So he sent messengers to Abimelech privately, saying, behold, continue.
Another one can. Verse 32. Now dear Slakia. Verse 33. And it shall be that in the morning, as soon as the sun is up, thou shalt rise early and set upon the city. And behold, when he and the people that is with him come out against thee, then Slakia, then mayest thou do to them as thou shalt find occasion.
Hello. These were real war them, you know.
Yeah, gone.
These men were real warheads, man. You know, you hear somebody say something and we're gonna get rid of him, you know. Yeah. So Donald Trump should have happy that you still have like a civility to you know. Yeah, man. But I go up against him long time and probably slow him. See him people then. All right, we are now 35.
Slakia 34.
All right, 34.
Verse 34. Abimelech rose up and all the people that were with him by night, and they laid wait against Shechem in 4 companies. Verse 35. And Gaal, the son of Ebed, went out and stood in the entering of the gate of the city. And Abimelech rose up, and the people that were with him from lying in wait.
Right. So Gaal went out, stood in the entering of the gate of the city. Abimelech rose up, people that were with him from lying in wait. And what happened? 36.
Another one can. Verse 36. And when Gaal saw the people, he said to Zebul, behold, there come people down from the top of the mountains. And Zebul said unto him, thou seest the shadow of the mountains as if they were people.
So is set up the ambush.
Gone.
So God now said to him, say, hello, I see people on top of the mountain, you know. And he said, shadow of the mountain, they must see a man as if it was men.
Gone.
All right, 37.
Another one can. Verse 37. And God spake again and said, see there come people down by the middle of the land, and another company come along by the plain of Meon Nim, Salakia, Meonanim. Verse 38. Then said Zebul unto him, where is now thy mouth? Herewith said, who is Abimelech, that we should serve him? Is not this the people that thou hast despised? Go out, I pray now, and fight with them.
Hey, so where you out then? I see people never hear us target. Go and go fight them, man.
God.
But you see, idolatry was rampant among those people. That's why they could conspire against each other. So,
God.
Because when you are serving the Most High God in truth and in the truth, without the influence of any of those other idols, those things happen.
God.
Like them big conspiracy where name I make. It's normally some idolatrous teaching get in the way, you know.
God.
Yeah, like Christianity making you passive.
Yeah.
So when certain people do and say some things against you, you keep your mouth shut. The problem is me, it's not them.
God.
Understand?
Answer.
Not so. We don't see that way in the truth. You pushing the violence, you are the problem. Yeah, you don't push things on me and as if it's me. Me do what? I don't do anything. It's you doing the pushing. So you are the one at fault. Continue reading.
Another one cancer. Verse 39. And Gaal went out before the men of Shechem and fought with Abimelech. Verse 40. And Abimelech chased him, and he fled before him. And many were overthrown and wounded, even unto the entering of the gate. Verse 41. And Abimelech dwelt at Arumah, and Zebul thrust out Gaal and his brethren, that they should not dwell in Shechem.
Right. He is the ruler of that city. Run them out of the city, man. Leave the city. Can't live here.
God.
All right, continue.
Another one can. Verse 42. And it came to pass on the morrow that the people went out into the field, and they told Abimelech.
Right. So they go out and tell Abimelech, that will kick him out, you know. And they took the people.
God. Verse 43. And he took the people and divided them into 3 companies, and laid wait in the field, and looked, and behold, the people were come forth out of the city. Another one can. And he rose up against them and smote them. Verse 44.
43, okay. 44.
Another one cancer. And Abimelech and the company that was with him rushed forward and stood in the entering of the gate of the city. And the two other companies ran upon all the people that were in the field and slew them, fought against the city all that day. And he took the city and slew that was therein, and beat down the city and sowed it with salt.
All right, you understand what I mean by sow it with salt? Spread salt on the ground. Cover the ground in salt. I mean, said, not grow so easy.
Okay.
If you salt the ground too much, you never see lands near sea and things. You know, certain things can grow in.
Yeah. Cancer. Yeah, man.
Coconut can grow in that. But it sowed it in salt, which means like it can't the land. So not all land going to grow there. You have to get months of rainfall, probably some flooding to really wash away that salt for things to start grow back there.
God.
So them beat down the city means them destroy everything in the city. You know, I said nothing grow back there, just salt the lands.
God.
All right, 46.
Another one, cancer, verse 46. And when all the men of the tower of Shechem heard that, they entered into an hole of the house of the God buried. Verse 40.
Right. So maybe this was the name of. So, and when all the men of the tower of Shechem heard that, they entered into an hold of the house of the God buried. So you see, a different God that again, yeah.
God.
Continue, Kosego.
Another one, gone. Verse 47. And it was told Abimelech that all the men of the tower of Shechem were gathered together.
Right. Gathered together in them idolatrous gods.
God.
It's a house, right? But like Anna said, temple where the God is. So the protection ain't going there for now, you know.
Yeah.
That was how much they believe. These were Israelites, you know.
No, man, gone.
This was how much they believe in their idols. Right. This was what the most I meant when he said the nations around you, if you go and you join yourself with them, they are going to become a thorn in your side. You have married them daughters, and you're going to learn their idolatrous ways because the mothers will teach the children about their idolatry.
God.
Remember your mother always carrying a church, insist you got a church, you know. Yeah, man, ready you and send it to church. Or take you. All right, continue.
Another one, cancer. Verse 48. And Abimelech got him up to Mount Zalman, he and all the people that were with him. And Abimelech took an axe in his hand and cut down a bow from the trees and took it and laid it on his shoulder and said unto the people that were with him, what ye have seen me do, make haste and do as I have done.
Right. So cut down the bow off a tree and put it on his shoulder and say, no, do the same thing too. Follow me.
God.
All right, continue.
Another one, cancer, verse 49. And all the people likewise cut down every man his bow and followed Abimelech and put them to the hole and set the hole on fire upon them, so that all the men of the tower of Shechem died also, about 1,000 men and women.
So you see when him do the bow, he can't go put it with what them gather.
God.
What are them run together in them idolatrous church, you know? Abimelech just back them up in there.
God.
And light the bow them round it. Somebody dead die in there. Somebody went there for. But you see, this is all them. That's why they are called judges. You know, it's judgment the most I bring now on those idolatrous people.
God.
About 1,000 men and women. They were all idolatrous. And then you got Abimelech. So it's just a war going, you know. And just burn them up in the house, in the church.
God.
And the city got destroyed.
God.
And it was an idolatrous city. All right, continue.
Another one, verse 50. Then went Abimelech to Thebes and encamped against Thebes and took it. Verse 51. But there was a strong tower within the city, and thither fled all men and women, and all they of the city, and shut it to them, and gat them up to the top of the tower. Verse 52. And Abimelech came unto the tower and fought against it, and went hard unto the door of the tower to burn it with fire. Verse 53. And a certain woman cast a piece of milestone upon Abimelech's head.
Millstone.
Slakia, a millstone, Slakia, upon Abimelech's head, and all to break his skull.
All right. So you see, is another woman now? Is another woman now do something in a war here, you know?
Yeah.
Right. The woman them don't really live then on the battlefront to them, but she was in the tower too. So if they came in, what would happen? She was one of them who was gonna die.
God.
In defense, poops in Abimelech head. But he was all right. He was a judge over Israel. He ruled over Israel. God. Why you think the Most High allow the woman to be able to push that millstone over on his head?
Salakia, that was a judgment from the Most High.
So even though he was bringing judgment on these idolatrous cities,
God.
And the funniest thing, you know, he wasn't fighting them because they were in idolatry, you know. He was fighting them because they didn't like him, really.
God. Yeah, man.
These were men who were now coming against him. Maybe them find out what him do, or him kill the 70 men, them to become ruler. And then them start disliking him.
God.
Probably that was the way it goes. But he was bringing judgment on them, and the Most High allowed him to bring judgment on them because they were in idolatry.
God.
Right? So thousands of them dead in the house, in them church, because they went on that God for protection rather than going back to the Most High God of Israel for protection.
God.
Right? And in today's day, it's the same thing we're coming back to, you know. Yeah. You're following. You hear the bike?
You hear them, man.
Is this here by there?
Bike boy them out.
Yeah?
Yeah, I say bike man them out.
It's just what it is. All right. So in today's day now, you're following what is happening with the development of viruses, other virus that can become like COVID-19.
Last year.
India, since it broke out, the level that it broke out, the COVID-19 broke out in India, there is now a new strain from India.
Yeah, gone.
And that new strain was what found its way into, it finds its way since the last 2 or 3 weeks, it found its way into England. Yeah, find its way into the UK. So much so that the UK is, they look like they're going to have a third wave, because 75% of the persons being infected is now from this new virus, this new strain. All right, China now report the first known transfer of the China have one bird flu that was going around in China, but it was affecting birds. They call it Z10. Oh, the bird flu, the H1N1, they mean call the bird flu. Right. Now this one is H10N, something like N5. So it's a strain of the H1N1, but it is a higher strain, they say. And they found it started can transfer now to human. That wasn't the case. It used to stay in the birds. But they find one case of it transferred to human. And they say it is way more deadlier than the H1N1.
Okay.
Right? But the most I say he's going to fill the place with plagues. No.
That's right.
If the plagues are these kind of sickness, or these virus, then we can begin to see why the Most High would need to burn the earth after him take out the people, his people, because he's going to need to purge virus from off the earth. And one way to do it is with fire. That's what they did in India. Then burn the dead bodies, then bury it, then burn it. Right? So say that to say this. The Most High is bringing judgment on his people today, just the same as he did back in these times. Bringing judgment in the sense that we are in idolatry, right? Rastafarianism, Roman Christianity. I can just say Christianity because all the Christianity that you have now is from Rome. You have Muslim, and you have Hindu. You have Hindu out here, Muslim out here, Christian strong out here, and the Rastafarianism strong out here. So the Most High is going to bring judgment on us again. Because it don't come like none of them learning. It's not as if any of them learn. It's like this happened, so let us just wait it out. And then we'll come out again. And I talk about, we're going to prophesy. So how none of the prophets then couldn't see this coming? None of them is going to be able to see anything that they would. As a matter of fact, the book that could help them, they cast it out the Bible a long time. So they won't be able to see anything and to predict and to for the Most High to help them to prophesy about anything. You understand? Right? Let's continue with Abimelech's judgment that he faced now at 53. So it's a woman now, the Most High used to bring judgment on Abimelech. All right, 54.
Another one gone. This is verse 54. Then he called hastily unto the young men his armor bearer, and said unto him, draw thy sword and slay me, that men say not of me a woman slew me. And he
Look at this. He realizes a woman drop a stone in her head and I'm all dead.
Yeah.
And nah, man, can't make a woman kill me after me being such a man of can we say a man of valor though? Well, him slew plenty because he was a judge, right?
Yeah.
But what happened? A woman killed him.
God.
But rather than make the woman make him dry him last breath, he call the man who is him armor bearer. That man carry him armor for him, you know.
God.
So this is the man who is next to him, you know, carrying him armor and him sword. You get what I'm telling the man say, right? Why kill me?
God.
So that it can't be said that a woman slew me.
God.
And this young man is a brave man too. Just killing boss like that. Just put giant sword and push it in him. Well, he was going to death, you know, because the millstone cracked him skull.
God.
Because he was bleeding. All right, 55.
Another one, verse 55. And when the men of Israel saw that Abimelech was dead, they departed every man unto his place. Verse 56. Then God rendered the wickedness of Abimelech, which he did unto his father, in slaying him, Slakia, his 70 brethren. Verse 57. And all the evil of the men of Shechem did God render upon their heads, and upon them came the curse of Jotham, the son of Jerubbaal.
All right. So even after Abimelech died, what punishment still continue?
God.
Yeah. That's what it is telling me here, you know. All right. Now,
Verse 10.
You mean chapter 10?
Chapter 10, Salakia.
And I look if we can go there.
Eh?
Look if we have enough time, can do it. Remember, we kind of start late.
Yeah, we start late.
I know. We think we can wrap it up in about 15 minutes.
Salakia, you're calling us for anything you do, you know. Is it? Salakia.
All right, it's 18 verses. All right, continue. Read it.
Another one, cancer. Chapter 10, verse 1. This is the book of Judges, chapter 10, verse 1. And after Abimelech, there arose to defend Israel Tola, the son of Pua, the son of Dodo, a man of Issachar, and he dwelt in Shamir in Mount Ephraim.
It's Tola. Continue.
Another one, verse 2. And he judged 23 and died, and was buried in Shamir. Verse 3.
You know, a lot of them judges rise up and hear them judge like him 20 something years. Sometimes I kill them.
Yeah, gone.
Yeah. Because they've been judging on me that they were warriors.
Gone.
All right. 3.
Another one, verse 3. And after him arose Jair, a Gileadite, and judged Israel 22 years. Verse 4. And he had 30 sons that rode in 30 ass colts, and they had 30 cities, which are called Avat, Jair, unto this day, which are in the land of Gilead, or Gilead, Slakia. Verse 5. And Jair died and was buried in Kaman.
All right. So, you know, this I know almost every village have one little place they call Kaman.
I mean, I just come to my mind, you know. Come on.
I don't think there's another nation with that. Yeah, it is common among our people.
To have a city name, come on.
a little area in the communities.
God.
And you call it over there, so what common.
God.
Yeah, they either play football there, gather there, something.
God.
They call it common. Yeah, man, these are little hints that tell us who we are now. All right. Now you see this son of Jair. 30 sons who use 30 asses and they rule 30 cities. Now that's power, you know.
God.
That was how he was able to judge over Israel. He had power.
God.
All right. 6.
Another one, verse 6. And the children of Israel did evil again in the sight of the Lord, and served Baalim and Ashtaroth, and the gods of Syria, and the gods of Zidon, and the gods of Moab, and the gods of the children of Ammon, and the gods of the Philistines, and forsook the Lord and served not him. And the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel, and he sold them into the hands of the Philistine and into the hand of the children of Ammon.
So the Philistines and the Japanese take us over now. And the Philistinians and the Palestinians. Well, the Palestinians are Arabs.
Arabs, cancer. Yeah, man.
All right, verse 8.
Another one, verse 8. And that year they vexed and oppressed the children of Israel. 18 years, all the children of Israel that were on the other side Jordan in the land of the Amorites, which is in Gilead.
All right, 18 years of oppressor for.
God.
Continue.
Another one, cancer. Verse 9. Moreover, the children of Ammon passed over Jordan to fight also against Judah and against Benjamin and against the house of Ephraim, so that Israel was sore depressed. Distress. Slakia.
Distress.
Another one, distress.
10.
Another one, cancer.
10.
Verse 10. And the children of Israel cried unto the Lord, saying, we have sinned against both, against thee, both because we have forsaken our God and also serve Baalim.
All right,
Verse
so
11.
then realize the cause of their oppression. Right? Because they have forsaken God and God serve Baalim. Continue.
Another one can. Verse 11. And the Lord said unto the children of Israel, did not I deliver you from Egypt, from the Egyptians, and from the Amorites, from the children of Ammon, and from the Philistines? Verse 12. The Zidonians also, and the Amalekites, and the Moabites did oppress you, and ye cried to me, and I delivered you out of their hand.
Continue.
Another one can. Verse 12, the Zidonians also and the Amalekites. Verse 30, yet ye have forsaken me and served other gods, wherefore I will deliver you no more.
Yeah, we don't do no now.
God.
Every time we don't get in trouble, we have to come contact them. But don't do no, man. I will deliver you no more. Continue.
Another one can. Verse 14. Go and cry unto the gods which ye have chosen. Let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation.
Them same gods that we go serve. Man, go cry to them. Let them deliver you. Don't come to me. So obviously they realize that these gods cannot deliver them. You know? So this is one thing. This is what we have also lost as a people now. You know? When we were in the land, anything bad happened to which we have no control over, we realize that is because we are doing something wrong. Right? So, the things that are happening to us in Jamaica, why we don't look as a people and see what we are doing wrong? This is what 400 years of oppression break, you know. You have totally forgot. This is why we are called dead. The Bible regards us as dead. Right? Because, and dry bones, because we have forgotten this part. Any separation I think we're going through as a people, we were able to look back and see which idolatry we know. But we have what we do now. We go and we cry. You know, when the Bible says crying to God, you know, it's not as how the church is doing. You go there, oh Jesus, oh Lord. When they say crying to God, that's not what it means. Talk to Yahweh, help us, please. Well, Baba Kasha, we need your help. That is crying to God, you know. Oh Jesus, oh Lord. Like if you're in ecstasy. No, that is not the crying that the Bible refers to when it tells us to cry unto God.
That's right.
So the most I remind we say, I will for people me deliver from, you know. I'm still going back to them. Only is a bunch of tough head. Me not deliver no more. Go and do them. God, they want to go on to them. All right, let's just see what our people say now.
Salakia, sir. The same people where him deliver them from, them go back go serve. Feed them God. If feed them God didn't have any power, how he was able to destroy, feed them, you know what I mean, to save them in the first place. That, you know what I mean? Stiff neck. Salakia.
But this is what the rich draw them over the one.
Yeah.
Trade. Trade.
Gone.
Want to trade with them. Right? We want their money.
Gone.
So what we do? We allow them to come into our country and to break our laws and to keep their fest, their what you call it again?
Mocha fest.
Yeah, it's near Mocha fest, but what were they actually doing? They were reveling.
Reveling, gone.
Yes.
Gone.
And reveling that used to come from the god, I think it's Bacchanal, well, that's Bacchanal. But reveling again is a way that was used to worship, I think, Baal too.
God.
So the reveling in the church now comes as in the form of the dancing. And they try and tell you that, you know, David danced, right?
Yeah.
Christ didn't. None of his 12 disciples didn't. But you choose to go back and follow David because you want to bring in the dance of Baal.
That's right.
Right? And this reveling that we have, party reveling and thing, that's one way of serving these gods, you know. So we open up the country to doing that.
Good.
All right. So let's see what the Most High said now.
Another one can. Slakia, verse 14. Go and cry unto the gods which ye have chosen. Let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation. Verse 15. And the children of Israel said unto the Lord, we have sinned Do thou unto us whatsoever seemeth good unto thee. Deliver us only, we pray thee, this day.
Go on, but you see, the thing is this, and why they always, because if you notice, the captivity sometime 20 years. So, the people don't die out, so they still remember about about going to serve at the Jerusalem. Well, it was Jerusalem then, right? Jerusalem wasn't established then.
Gotcha.
But go back to the priest and the Ark of the Covenant, right?
Canada one.
But in this captivity, 400 years, nah, all them things are cut off.
God.
You understand?
Gotcha.
With the past, black up, can't remember, we don't remember nothing. All we have is Baal. The same gods them who we always are go to, Rome gets smart and just put all of them in one.
God.
And just cut the part. Because of the same way they say the Most High said, go and cry unto the gods which ye have chosen, and let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation. So the Most High just give you 400 years of the gods that we have always been chosen. And whip, drop, cross, we back. We continue being sold, our children taken away, watch our sons being hung on trees,
God.
and we still crying unto Baal. We still serving Milcom. We still serving Ishtar. And as a matter of fact, we're even bringing some other ones, because they know the God of new beginnings, which when I used to read about them gods in the Bible. When I used to read, I never used to read about Caesar here. All those is in there now. Right? So this is why now, this time when the Most High deliver us, that's why we are going to say, what do we really have to do with these idols? We need to put them away for good. Right? Because there's never been a time where any of them help we. When has ever the Christian church deliver us from any of the atrocities that we face under the white man here? It seems as if they were the ones who pushed the integration. When there were signs going around that we want no niggers around, and they put nigger bathroom and the white man bathroom, we were doing much better, because we were forced to spend our money amongst ourselves. I understand, but no, you don't see signs, no niggas around, but they still don't want you around. But they want your money. They find a way, they realize they can get your money and push you away. All right, what verse are we at now?
Salakia. We're at verse 16. And they put away the strange gods from among them and served the Lord, and his soul was grieved for the misery of Israel.
Right, and they put away the strange gods from among them. God. But why are we not doing it today? Right? God. Rather than putting away the strange God, we rather put away the Bible.
God.
We're telling our people to put away the Bible rather than to tell them, no, rather than to say, well, say Selassie and God, we should not serve Selassie. God. Rather than accepting that you were wrong all these years. You want to compound sin upon sin.
God.
You can't do that. We are serving other gods. But at this time now, them get little smarter and say, all right, and put away the strange gods and serve the Lord. and his soul was grieved for the misery of Israel. So you put away these God, the Most High, get the Most High really love you as a child now and say, oh, I'm going to defend the picnic now, you know. All right. Continue.
Another one, verse 17. Then the children of Ammon were gathered together and encamped in Gilead, and the children of Israel assembled themselves together and encamped in Mizpeh.
So you see what happened after the Most High start grieving for his children now. The enemy come against you. That's how deliver you. Stir up the enemy to come against you. Because what? He's rising for a fall.
God.
So that's why I say Muta must be careful. Rising for a fall, man.
God.
Where are now? 18.
Another one, gun, sir. Verse 18. And the people and princes of Gilead said unto Slakia one to another, what man is he that will begin to fight against the children of Ammon? He shall be head over all the inhabitants of Gilead. Chapter 11.
Wait a minute. All right. Let's use Micah 7 and 19. So right here now with what the Most High did, the people and princes of Gilead said unto one another, what man is he that will begin to fight against the children of Ammon? Basically, most of them will start the fight against the people. Like, that's how powerful they do. He shall be head over all the inhabitants of Gilead. Yeah, because they're not brave. All right, so let's see what Micah what to say?
Salakia, whenever get the
7 and 19, the book of Micah.
Answer. All right, this is the book of Micah, chapter 7, verse 19. He will turn.
Let me find it.
Yeah?
Let me find it.
Okay, gotcha.
Here it is, Micah 7. All right, so
find it, sir.
All right, read from 18.
Another one, gun, sir. This is Micah chapter 7, verse 18. Who is a God like unto thee, that pardoneth iniquity, and passeth by the transgression of the remnant of his heritage? He retaineth not his anger forever, because he delighteth in mercy.
Right. So that is why whenever we are able to put away the idols, it's like mercy comes same time.
That's right.
As soon as the truth was being born in the world, 69, you know, brothers start to do what? Start to grow.
God.
You just want to stay in the truth. You start to grow. Start to grow. Because his mercy delights when you are on his side. And as soon as our people realize that and is able to put away the idols in the church, like we in the truth have done, open your eyes, come out, you know, take the strength, find strength and come out. Then you, at that time you start to see God's mercy. You know, sometimes they get a nice job and a nice house and a nice car. And I say, whoa, the Lord is smiling on me.
God.
Trust me. If you're not on the right side and when Christ comes, don't look for mercy.
That's right.
Right? 19.
Another one cancer. Verse 19. He will turn again. He will have compassion upon us. He will subdue our iniquities, and thou will cast all their sins into the depth of the sea.
Right. So all the sins that we have committed, once you realize I am at the turn, this is what Christ does. Christ is the one who is going to forgive you and cast all your sins into the depth of the sea, meaning say what? Forgotten.
That's right.
No more will he remember that you were a homosexual. No more will he remember that you were a prostitute. You were a drug user. You were a drug dealer. You were all the bad things. You used to eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster because those are just as bad.
That's right. God.
So this is what Christ does. He's the one who is going to forgive all those sins, right? And he will be the judge like those. So long we go through the book of Judges, because it's the same thing Christ coming to do. If you notice the judge who cried, anytime the Most High raise up a judge in the book of Judges, what he do? What him do? Make war.
That's right.
Right? So when Christ come back as the judge of the earth, what am going to do? Hold on and sing Kumbaya, my Lord. Next guest come in verse 20.
God one cancer. Verse 20. Thou will perform the truth to Jacob and mercy to Abraham, which thou hast sworn unto our fathers from the days of old.
All right. So all the promises that was made to Jacob and Abraham. And then you see, you know, this he could have just said to Abraham, you know.
God.
I know what would have happened. The white man, the Ishmaelites, was from Abraham. And all those Abraham people can come and say, see, Christ is coming to redeem us too. But he make sure him say Jacob.
God.
When him say Jacob, he's being specific.
That's right, sir.
Even though the promise was made through Abraham, it's the seeds of Jacob that is going to redeem.
God.
Those who need the redemption, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, those who is in dire need of the redemption. Right?
Canada one cancer.
And this was what it is so long. So if Muta believes the Most High is finished with the promises in the Bible, they make a sad mistake. Right, so with that, pass the class over to priest and officer Kayadwan.
Okay, clap it up. Give me a second, sir. Fine. All right, we are going to the prayers, then, sir.
Huh?
You are going at some prayers?
Yeah. Yeah, man. I'll go to them.
Okay, sir. Canada one. Slack, yeah, give me a second, sir. Slack, yes, sir. The strangest thing happened. Me a stream, but it come like the rest. No other window now benefit from the Wi-Fi. For some reason, I refresh it.
No, everything they're printed out.
Yeah, the sign up sheet. We never get it print out. Yeah, yes, sir.
Sign up sheet.
Not the sign up sheet, the security announcement.
You need to get the security announcement printed and the high holidays.
Canada one can.
You have them? Print them.
Yeah, man, me have them, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
You have the priors printed?
Can, sir. Yeah, man. Remember you give me them?
All right, so I'm going to read the security announcement and you do the priors. You start the prior after.
Yeah, man. The order, sir.
Are you fine?
I could find it, but me not find it yet. So if you have it in front of you.
Where is it? You soon find it?
Yeah, me have to check on my phone.
All right, search if you find it.
Yeah, man. Can, sir. Me have it. All right. These are the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or a sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother, in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi 3, verse 8 to 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew and is pronounced ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or Slakia, our teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upon coming Holy Convocation, we are now in the feast of first fruits.
Memorial of blowing of trumpet.
The memorial of blowing of the trumpet. Canada one can.
Monday 6th September 2021.
Canada one can. Canada one can, sir. All right. Reminding
Leviticus 23, 24 to 25.
Okay, Canada one can, sir. Reminding Akiam and Aquatiam to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and material. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he is to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, we say a margum, which means to stand. And we say Slakia. Sar, Walapanya, Aquadam, which means turn and face the east. We're going to say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew first and then in English. Abanawa. Shabashamayam. Quadash. Aya. Shamka. Yahweh. Malakwatka. Tabaha. Ratazaika. Aya. Aisha. Barataza. Kawa. Aya. Washamayam,
Bashamayam,
Nathan Lanawa,
Nathan Lanawa,
Lakam,
Lakam,
Kal,
Kal,
Yawam,
Yawam,
Wasalak Lanawa,
Basalak Lanawa,
Kawabwat Nawa,
Kawabwat Nawa,
Kasalak Nawa,
Kasalak Nawa,
Kawabwat Yanawa,
Kawabwat Yanawa,
Walaha,
Wala'a,
Tabaya Anawa,
Tabaya Nawa,
Banasayawan,
Banasayawan,
Abal,
Aba,
Awashai Nawa,
Awashanawa,
Maya,
Maya,
Rai,
Rai,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Ta,
Laka,
Amalakwat,
Abalakwat,
Wahala,
Wahala,
Watapara,
Wataparat,
La Iwalamiam,
Laiwalamya,
Aman.
Aman. In English, our Father which art in heaven,
Our Father which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven.
Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread.
Give us this day our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
And forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation.
And lead us not into temptation.
But deliver us from evil.
Deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
Thine is the kingdom.
And the power and the glory.
And the power and the glory.
Forever. Amen.
Forever so be it.
Prayer for the curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and earth.
And all things living.
And all things living.
Yahweh in the name of Yahweh.
Yahweh in the name of Yahweh.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
That speak against us.
That speak against us.
Thy prophets.
Thy prophets.
The teachers.
The teachers.
The princes and the priests. The princes.
The princes and the priests.
The Israelite brothers and the school.
The Israelite brothers and the school.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
And shake loose the treasures of the rich of Israel.
And shake loose the treasures of the rich of Israel.
That refuse to give to the school.
That refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary.
Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the Edomites.
To the Edomites.
And the nations.
And the nations.
And their drug dealers.
And their drug dealers.
The court system.
The court system.
The prison system.
Prison system.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
All the governments of our enemies.
All the governments of our enemies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church.
The Pope.
The Pope.
Islam.
Islam.
Christianity.
Christianity.
Egyptology.
Egyptology.
Militia.
Militia.
Ku Klux Klan.
Ku Klux Klan.
Aryan Nation.
Aryan Nation.
Skinheads.
Skinheads.
Posse Comitazi.
Posse Comitazi.
The gay movement.
The gay movement.
The lesbian movement.
The lesbian movement.
Spies.
Spies.
Workers of witchcraft.
Workers of witchcraft.
NASA space program.
NASA space programs.
Army.
Army.
Navy.
Navy.
Air Force.
Air Force.
Marines.
Marines.
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Open up the internet.
Open up the internet.
and the airways,
and the airways,
the cable access channels,
the cable access channels,
and the radio channels.
and the radio channels.
Convict the spirit of any of thy people
Convict the spirit of any of thy people
that seek to stop us
that seek to stop us
and bring swift destruction
and bring swift destruction
to all the heathen
to all heathen
that stand in the way
that stand in the way
or try to stop us from broadcasting your words
or try to stop us from broadcasting your word
throughout the planet Earth.
throughout the planet Earth.
Let loose all the plagues,
Let loose all the plagues,
cause them to go to and fro
cause them to go to and fro
through the earth
through the earth
and consume them.
and consume them.
Let the plague shake
Let the plagues shake
the house of the thief and the murderer.
the house of the thief and the murderer.
Let YAHANNA shine.
Let YAHANNA,
Michael and Gabriel
Michael and Gabriel
come down with the flying saucers
come down with the flying saucers
and punish all the heathens
and punish all the heathens
that come up against us
that come up against us
as we speak thy word.
as we speak thy word.
Cause it to be known by all
Cause it to be known by all
that it is the angels that have done it.
that it's the angel that has done it.
Cause it to be spread through the media,
Cause it to be spread throughout the media,
throughout the whole world.
throughout the whole world.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
In the name of Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
Thank you always, so be.
Thank you always, so be it.
Prayer for the poor.
Prayer for the power. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Babakwasha.
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Babakwasha.
Nathan Anawa.
Nathan Nanawa.
Akak.
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 Larapa.
Larapa.
Kalmakala.
Kalmakala.
Wakal Madawa.
Wakal Madawa.
Akak.
Akak.
Lata'ar.
Lata'ar.
Amatazariam.
Amatazariam.
Akak.
Akak.
Lahakwayam.
Lahakwayam.
Amatiam.
Amatiam.
Akak.
Akak.
Ilrakawa.
Ilrakawa.
Atamala.
Atamala.
Nagarashan.
Nagarashan.
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Tawada Aman.
Tawada. In English, Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
Power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease.
The power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out in the name of Yahweh Shai.
To cast them out in the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it. Marjum, which means to slack, yeah. Sorry, which means to turn. I'm going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel, Marjum Shabbat, Marjum, Barak, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Barakatah.
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Barakatam.
Yadamata. We're going to give 130 salute to the sister, or the sisters. Men of Israel, turn and face the sisters. Amajum Shabbat. Amajum. Barak. Yahweh Shamar Aylatah. Yadamata. Class dismissed.